Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy. And the second page that I am doing in conjunction with Janet M. Young's hashtag Scavenger Hunt 2021. And I will link her video, Facebook page, whatever information I have on her, I will link that below. And what we're doing is she gave us 100 prompts. And I typed them all up on little pieces of paper and cut it apart and printed it. And what I am doing with it is I am going through and I am drawing 3 pieces out for each of my pages. So, once again, you'll have to trust that my eyes are closed. Yes, they are. I made sure I found my bowl before I went to draw it out, because last time I had trouble finding the bowl and had to open my eyes. And so we're going to draw out 3 pieces. There's 1, 2, and 3. And last time, the ones that I drew were a doozy to work with. Let's see what happened. Oops. Okay, well, I know that I placed things over here, so these are going to be going back in. I didn't know that they fell out. Oh, okay. So we have now a t-shirt saying, a photograph, and a wild card, your choice. Huh. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to just tap my hands. I will go ahead and say, I'm not going to count this as my wild card, my choice, because I could have, but I won't. I did a while back a couple of pages where I was just testing out some texture paste, and this is one of the pages that I did it was a heavier texture paste, and it's been long enough that I don't recall what brand it was. I would share if I knew, but I don't know. It looks sandy and gritty, but it's actually pretty smooth. I wasn't sure what to think about it, and I thought, you know what? I'll just use it in this challenge. So now I have to come up with a t-shirt saying, a photograph, and a wild card, something of my choice. So give me just a few minutes to think about what I am going to do with this, and we'll get started. Okay, so I think I have figured it out. It wasn't as easy as you would think it is, because I had to look up t-shirt sayings, and it's hard to find them that are not really inappropriate. The picture was a little easier because I recently bought a photo album at Goodwill or Salvation Army or something, and it still had all these old photos in it, and this was one of them. And so I took it, and I'm going to use it, and I love how the colors work really well. And the saying, I looked up on Google, and it's really cute. And I have actually shared this with my sisters a few times. It says, I smile because you're my sister. I laugh because there's nothing you can do about it. So in order to get the t-shirt saying, I didn't want to do a ransom note, like where I spell out each of the words, but I don't mind putting a bunch of the words together in order to make my picture. And I just happen to have this on my desk in one of my little bowls here of collections of odds and ends that I just don't put away. I just put it in a bowl. And so we're going to put these together. First, I want to play with this background a little bit more. Going to get some water right there. And I want to try out some of these watercolors that I got, and they're specialty watercolors. I got them from Hydrocolor on Etsy, and I will share the link below. to that shop. And this one is called Fairy Dust, and it's just like a very light purple shimmer. I don't think I'll use that right now. This one is Superstition, and it's got an orange to it, and I don't think I want to go with the orange either because I have a lot of orange already going on with the background. It's all got a brown tint, so I want something just a little different. So I have Tiffany, which is almost a peacock, not peacock blue, it's more of a greenish, tealish color. And I have Carolina Sunset, again, that is an orangish one. So I'm gonna work with this. And I have never used these before. Not just not used these cubes, I've not used these kind of watercolors before. There we go. All right. And I am just going to take some water, get my brush nice and wet, dab it on there, get the paint a little softened so that I can get it on my brush. Like I said, I've never used this, so I don't know what's going to happen. And I think maybe I'm going to follow some of the scrapey marks that I made when I was testing the texture paste, just to see if it picks up on it some, or see if I get some random marks that make me think of something else. And I don't know if any of the special aspects of this watercolor will show up either on the camera or on my paper, since I have the texture paste on there. It has a shimmery effect to it that I really liked, and that's part of the reason that I went ahead and bought them, because I thought that it would be very interesting and fun to play with. I am by no means watercoloring. I am using a watercolor to get some paint marks on here, but I don't consider this watercolor painting, at least not my style of watercolor painting. That may change as I go on. I do like it. I do like the color. I just don't know if I'm wasting the shimmer. We'll find out. A little bit drier, and it has a different effect as well. Alright, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like the color, but I don't know if I like what is going on the page. But that's part of this. It's a challenge to stretch you. I wonder what would happen if I take my spray bottle and just wet that down. I'm actually soaking it really well right here now, so we'll see what happens. And you know, while that's drying, I think maybe I will get some of the, oh, they're magnetic. That's why they kept sticking together. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to try and get some of this fairy dust onto the paper too. And I already know that I'm going to have to use my scissors instead of trying to finagle all of that and be so careful. I didn't realize that it was in a little plastic pan. I just thought it was a little cube. Ooh. I dropped some of my foil from the wrapper on there, and I kind of like that color. So that may be my wild card, is a little bit of foil. What do you think? see what happens with that. Grab the Tiffany out as well and pull some of that off. This may be a lot more colorful than I thought it was going to be. All right, so let's soften up the fairy dust and we'll just see what happens with it. It may not show until the thing is done because it is very, very, very pale and it just has a shimmer. May not show anything at all. Because right now I can't tell because it's wet. It looks shimmery just because it's wet. I'm actually moving around some of that texture paste now because my paper is very damp. I think I'll be done with that before I end up ruining the fairy dust. All right, I think that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tear this into maybe half this size. The ones that are already smaller, I'll go ahead and just keep the size that they are. Whoops, that wasn't half. Okay, so we'll try not to go smaller than that though. Matter of fact, I'll leave that one because I know that it's just gonna destroy itself if I try to go any closer to the smaller size. There's that. This one's already good. Try to flatten them out just a little bit and see what happens with that. Oh goodness. Tear that and that, and that's good. That's good. All right. While we're letting this dry, I'm going to look for words. And the quote that I was going for was, "I smile because you're my sister. I laugh because there's nothing you can do about it." And let's see if we can find those words. It took forever for this to dry. Even with my heat gun, I still have a couple of spots that just don't want to dry. And I'm sure it's because of that texture paste. I seem to remember that I had to let it sit for a long time. So I'm kind of trying to force this to not curl so much. But I did get that paper really, really, really wet, and this is not watercolor. I also pulled out a couple of other quotes. One is from the Tim Holtz Snarky, and then the other is from the Small Chat. So I pulled out this page because I like to have the numbers. I have a thing about numbers, once again. If you know anything about me, if you've watched any of my videos, I have a thing about numbers. And the numbers that I am using, the prompts that these equate to are 88, 100, and 21. And I found a 21 and I found a 100. I was having a great deal of difficulty finding an 88 until I thought, wait a minute, this is family. And this book is about family. And it's called Aunt Hope's Kitchen Stove, and I made a journal out of the actual book, and you can find that on my channel or in my list somewhere. But I still have this page, and so I am going to use this page to get my number 88 on there, but I'm also going to use it to back up my picture and probably a few other things. Because I want to get some color in here. I like that. Actually, this comes apart. I wonder if I could create a little bit more interest. You know, this scavenger hunt thing is not as easy as you think it would be. You would think, oh, you just pull out 3 things and you plop them together and it works. Nope, that's not how it works. You do that and that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to get this apart, and so I took it off camera. Let's see. And we'll do that right there. And I might put something else back there. I'm not sure yet. And I'm going to slide this behind like that. So far, that's working for me. I like it. I think I might want to mat that picture with something. What can I mat it with? I have this scrap here. And I do kind of like that. I like it like that better. I think so. So I'm going to glue this. May have trouble staying in screen. But I'll do my best. I think I want it right there. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Pick this up. I think maybe I need to trim it just a little bit. Or I could scoot this over a little. Get all of this on there. Like that. That. I think that'll work so far. I need to figure out where I'm going to put my words. All right, so I am going to get some inks out and I am going to get some tissue paper out. I will be right back. Alrighty, so we're going to use the Dusty Concord and I am going to go through and just hit the edges of all of these. Just to give them some definition, because I'm feeling like it's kind of busy and things are getting lost. And that is not what I want to happen. Of course, the background, that texture paste background, is kind of a wild card I threw at myself before even starting. Because I had decided that I really wanted to use that page, and why not use it in the scavenger hunt? And now I'm seeing why not use it. Now I'm seeing why not use it in the scavenger hunt, because it made things difficult. And this is probably one of the points where I will discover that the background doesn't always have to show. You can cover it back up. So I just need to work on that in my head, because I always struggle with covering everything up. I don't mind covering up parts. Like when I watch people who are doing collages, and I mean, they have layers and layers and layers, and things are getting covered up, and I'm like, oh no, but that was so pretty. Maybe it took one of these, ooh, that's not so pretties, to get me to where I could cover it up, cover up the background. Maybe that'll break the ice for me. I don't know. Okay, take these off, put put that back down there. I know that this one's going under that one. And I may just go ahead and glue this one down so the glue can start setting up while I am doing the edges of the other pieces. Because I know that those two are probably going to go right about there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and glue those down just to make sure that it sets, because like I said, it took forever for this medium, this texture medium on the background to dry. So I don't know how long it will take for this to set up. This is Fabri-Tac glue, so it shouldn't take that long, I wouldn't think, but then again, who knows? Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and glue down this page as well, so it can go ahead and start getting set into place. I may come back and tuck some things under the edges, so I'm not going to glue all the way to the edges. Just want to make sure that I get that middle part down and composed the way I want it to be. All right, so we'll let that dry for just a little bit. I know this is going to go back over it, but I also have these other pieces that are going to go back over it. I think what I need to do at this point is to consider, not that this is going to be great art, and it probably, very likely, won't even be something that I really, really like. The point is to get out of my comfort zone. Or at least I think that's what the point is of doing the scavenger hunt, because it's easy to keep doing things in your preferred style. And it's hard to feel like you don't have much control over how some aspects of it are turning out. Let's see, I need to make sure that I can still see the number. I need to make sure I've got a place to put my words. How did I have that? Oh, I had that like, I think I had that right there. Like that. And then, yes, I think that was there. And then this will be somewhere. This one I'm not going to glue down just yet, because I may put some more things down before I put this atop of everything else. I'm thinking it might go right there. Yep. And I believe I am going to need a piece of paper or, whoops, something so that I can get those words on there of my saying, my t-shirt saying. Right now I feel like this looks like a bunch of gobbledygook. And that might be what it is. Who knows? So I'm going to go ahead and hit the edges of this page. And I may just come in with some more of that watercolor again and just kind of splatter the background on here. Let's see what happens if I do that. I may like it, I may not. Who knows? I may not even be able to splatter it. I don't even know that part. I can splotch it all right. I can splatter everything on my desk within a certain radius. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like it on there too. Okay, so I am going to tuck that right there, and that is probably going to be the only part of this whole page that is straight up and down. So I will let it dry. I need to figure out where I'm gluing these, and I just kind of want it semi-random. I don't want it totally random. So I got those. How many do I have? There's 3, there's 3, there's 3, and if I tear this one, there's 3. And I can switch out that one and that one. There we go. Yeah, I do like that. Okay, and my words are going to go on here. And so I think the first one I need to put on is the word smile, because everything else needs to be arranged around it. I need to put this back on the page where I want it, so that I know what where the word smile is going to go. I think it's going to go right there, just like that. I probably better leave that in place until I get, yes. So I'll go ahead and put the glue on here. And I realize that that paint isn't all the way dry yet, but I think that it'll be okay to go ahead and put this on. Like that. That works. Okay, so I still haven't glued down this or this or this. But I think that I am at a point now where I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn that over that way. I'll just completely move this. And those two are glued together now because the tail end of the smile had glue on it. So I'm going to glue that little section there, so I have a little bit more holding it together. And then I'll just bring this over here and hold it up while I glue, because I don't want my dots to get messed up. And that was right about there. I think it was just a little further down. I think it was right there. Somewhere in there. It's not going to be perfect. There we go. Go ahead and push that down so that the glue adheres to the page. Put a little glue under that spot that's not sticking. I probably didn't put enough glue on that corner to begin with. All right, and so now I think I had this way, and then this one was here. I think that had a little more angle on it. And I think that was straight up and down. Yep. I want a little bit behind there. So I have some pattern paper over here. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of it and put it behind here. And go right here. Because then I think I can just tear across here. And then tear down here and get just enough to put behind it right there. And I think maybe I'm going to have that go up and down as well, and then make this one turn the angle. Yep, I think that's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to put my stick glue on here to put it onto the pattern. And then I will use my Fabri-Tac to adhere the two pieces down to the page. Because I know that paper to paper, this glue stick is not going to have any problem whatsoever. But I am not so sure about the paper adhering to that wet background, that wet textured background. Not so sure that happened very well. And I keep getting off screen, I'm pretty sure. I may just not zoom in for this. You're gonna see through my desk, you're gonna see my messiness. But I know that I'm having trouble containing myself to this small green board to work on, and I need to make myself another background board because my other one is just, it was gone. It kicked the bucket. It was too much for it anymore. There we go. And I did not glue down the edges of that pattern paper because then it gives it a little texture, a little bit of bounce there. I'm going to glue this down before I forget where it goes, because I keep changing my mind, and if I glue it down, then I'll quit changing my mind about it. Right there. Okay, so let's get our, that's pretty well dry. And I'm going to add some glue to the back of it just to make sure, because I don't always trust these stickers to stick on my mixed media stuff. So put this here. And there are no capital I's on those pages of stickers, on the Tim Holtz stickers. It really bugs me. I wish there were capitals. Okay, so we say a smile. Okay, so I've got those on there. Almost done. I want to put these on there because I think that I'm going to count that as part of my wild card. Because I said I was going to use the little watercolor pans, and these were wrapped around the watercolor pans. I'm going to try something real quick. I have a little puddle right there of the watercolor. And I may not do this on all the butterflies, but I would like to see if that causes it to be sparkly. All right, so I still have this quote. Oh, that'll work. And I think that I'm actually going to try a little of this. It says, sometimes I wonder how you put up with me. Then I remember I put up with you, so we're even. And then this one says, this is what family looks like. Stay down. All right, so let's see. This butterfly's almost dry, and it does have a little of that shimmer. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I think that's pretty cool. So I may just plop my other butterflies in that puddle until there's no puddle left, which may not take long. For the puddle to not be gone, to not be there anymore. Give it a little bit of shimmer though. I like to wipe up my spills with some of my other products so that nothing gets wasted. Okie doke. So I've got some of the foil pieces down. I still have my other numbers to put down somewhere. And I want it to be close to each other because those are the prompts. I think I'll put that one there. That's my 21. We've got 88 from the page. And then the 100 is actually that $1 sign is going to be the 100. So those will go there. And I'll go ahead and place the butterflies. Put that one there. That one there. This one here. I know you're supposed to put them in groups of 3s and stuff, but I just want them scattered around the page. And that one there. And this one will go right here. I like that. So now I just got to figure out where I'm going to tuck these guys. I think that one will go right there. Those others I just put down with the glue that was already on the sticker. There's actually no glue behind those pieces. So I'm hoping that that still stays together. I'll put that there. Now these I will put in the 3s, and maybe that'll help the butterflies to be a little bit more like they're supposed to be. It'll bring them into some sort of a grouping anyway. If I can get it to tuck under there. There we go. There's that. This is very textural, very lumpy bumpy. So we're just going to see how it works. Tuck this. Let's see, where am I going to? Just put that right there. There's that. And this one goes with it. Wonder if I put that up under that butterfly, that'll help. And then I need to bring some of the shine down here to this area. I'll pick up that piece, put it right here. Did I glue that one down? Yes. So I just need to glue this one. All right. I think I'm done. I think that's done. I got my photograph right there. My t-shirt saying, "I smile because you're my sister." I think I may just kind of emphasize those words. a little haphazard, raggedy outline. Gives it some movement and some interest. And I don't have to worry about trying to be perfect, because we all know that ain't happening. But I also want to make sure that the words don't get lost on the page. And this little subtle black outline. I say subtle because it's not in your face. It's not like it's hiding either, but it just brings it forward enough that you notice the words are there. And I may just underline that nothing a little bit. Come over here and I'll just do like the edges. I'll give it some brackets. Again, just so that we've got that visual of, hey, there's words here. And up here as well. And I didn't glue that butterfly down. I probably had better do that. There we go. Now it's done. So there is my second entry for the hashtag 2021 scavenger hunt. Or maybe it's hashtag scavenger hunt 2021. I will look it up to make sure. I kind of like it coming from not liking it very much at all right at the beginning. So take a chance. Like Miss Frizzle says, take a chance, make mistakes, get messy. You might actually like what happens. Thank you for joining me today. And I just want to remind you to be kind always. Bye.